sense.
I'm curious about your explanation. I mean, his heightened perception when he's sick is something I think we've all experienced, and the conclusions that he draws are quite mature as a child. It's an adult writing a child. I didn't see that as a degradation at all.
No, that's not degraded, but the sort of purity, this childhood purity, I think, it's a sort of theme that weaves like a kind of mist through the book. And the feeling of this pure, intense contact with reality that becomes dissipated and diminished with age is a form of all the various degradations in the book. Yeah.
Yep. My question is, what did you learn about the author through studying the work, doing the edits, and then reading it? What did you learn about the author?
Well, I'm speaking for myself. You know, I am familiar with some of the other books, and as I said, they're all quite different. This one, I think, has a kind of tenderness that maybe the later ones are very, very perfect and sort of gleaming. But there's a sort of tenderness in this one that actually did surprise me a little.
This lady here, her mother was from Czernopol. And,
oh my goodness.
And she was telling me before the start of that it was a great center for Jewish culture.
Incredible, yeah. Yeah. From Czernowitz? Czernowitz, yeah.
Yeah, Czernowitz.
This is for Dave Friche. You by now must have heard the book in a number of translations. Does the translator become?
I am so happy to surprise with this one.
Does he become transparent?
Well, he's not very transparent ever. He doesn't want to be transparent. He wants you to suffer with him.
We have the microphone.
Oh. Well, you know, I can't answer the same question that they can, especially Debbie, who has been already doing an introduction for the anti-Semite, and she knows, and she discovered that maybe had been escaping to me. But the translation in Italian was fantastic. It was done by poet. I just reread a few pages yesterday, you know, and it goes very, very well. This one, which I read once in English in the translation that was done before my time, must be in the beginning of '62, was horrid. All the second possibility were erased, the things were completely misunderstood. It was, he threw away the book if we made a scandal, he insulted everybody, etc. French is quite all right, because he was always scared with the French. It was too elegant, because he's such a complicated writer that they sometimes, the French translated into an excess of elegance that he didn't want. But I think I'm so thrilled with this translation. I think it's fantastic. The translator is of German origin, but lives in Texas since a long time. He's himself a playwright. And when Edwin Frank from the New York Review of Books said, you know, he's taking care so much about the book and the understanding that he's taking a trip to Czernopol. And I said, well, this is in Europe, far away, but why doesn't he come and spend some time? Because I have that writer retreat. So we invited him as a fellow, and he spent 6 weeks there. which I think was good for the atmosphere of the house. His object, his books, the things on the annotation pages. And he was a delightful person, very intelligent, you know. I think we are lucky. This is my consideration. I don't know about other languages. I know we have a friend here who can say about the translation in Spanish, because the Ermine is translated in
Very well,
Spanish.
because he was a writer. He's a Mexican called Juan
Valerio.
Villoro. Juan Villoro.
A good translation, come here. So we have a voice from another country. I can't say anything for the Polish and all that.
No, the Spanish one is Anagrama, the publisher, which is like the Feltrinelli of Spain, and Juan Villoro is a wonderful Mexican writer. So it's like being translated by an artist himself. It's a wonderful translation in Spanish.
I hope that he will do some more, but it's still important to write.
Now he is important. You can coax, I'm sure.
My question is very issue. Unfortunately, I haven't read Rezzori yet.
You want to, don't pull it too hard.
I'm sorry, I haven't read Rezzori myself, and I'm curious, how would you distinguish him from other writers of the same times? What you like most about him that other writers don't have? If the question makes sense. What you like most, and how would you differentiate him from other writers in that way?
Well, I'm afraid I'm not completely no, I have a sense objective. But what I like, of course, there was also the man and the husband and the person I live with. And it was so many discovery, because he had an appearance of being nice, jolly, funny. And then there was this depth of sadness and complication and all that. I don't know what the writer had. So I see it in another point of view, not just coldly from the page, you know.